Welcome to Fiberchats. I'm in Florida at the moment, as you can tell by my color. Got a little burn, and I have Romi Hill here, and we're gonna talk
Hi.
about. Hi, Romi. We're gonna talk about the upcoming mystery knit along that Romi hosts, and this is the 11th time you're doing this mystery knit along.
Yes, 11. I can't believe that it's 11, but it is 11. So,
Well,
yep.
tell me how the first time happened, and what did you learn from the previous years of doing knit along, and how this one is different.
We first started, so a verb for keeping warm and I shared a booth at Stitches West for many years. And for the first year, I thought it would be really fun to have mystery knit along kits and do a mystery. And so we just, we put together some kits, and I actually have my first one here. It was one of the one of the samples. This is cactus flower. So that it was the first mystery and the first kit that got put together. And then just every year, we have done the same thing. And when this one started out, I'd never actually done a mystery shawl before. Like I knitted one time, somebody else's design. And so the big thing that I wanted this to be was something that was kind of mysterious, as in you didn't know exactly how it was going to turn out, but I also wanted it to be kind of representative of my other shawls and my other work, so that people wouldn't end up with something that they were completely not expecting. So I tried to kind of put in elements that I would use in other designs, but then also have some, just a little bit of fun with the shaping. And this one, had, so the cactus flower again, it has some interesting ways of increasing and, just some kind of fun things shown, like thrown in there, like new techniques and little things like that. So that's kind of been the same as I go along, and I've definitely learned from them. So now when I do them, I do a YouTube live every clue that comes out, so I can go over the techniques that are in the shawl.
Right.
So that has changed. That's happened the last couple of years, and I think it's been really good. Like people have responded really well to it, and yeah, it's been really fun actually. I've
Well,
enjoyed it.
I know this one is a total mystery at the moment, and the knit along will actually start on April 21st, right? The first clue is gonna drop on
Yes.
April 21st. But
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about it. Like, do we know the shape of it? Do we know any, like, is there any secrets you can tell us?
So it's a triangle, and it takes two skeins of yarn. So every year I do two skeins, one of each of different colors, and it's like a fingering or a light sport weight. And it's every year I tell people what the shape is going to be, and then within that I'll play around maybe a little bit. So the clues are 1 week apart, and we generally knit together in my Ravelry group, and then also have Zoom meetups. And so let's see, hints. I was feeling kind of whimsical this year. So I named it Falderal, because it was a really long winter. It was just a long, long, long winter. So I was feeling extra springy. So yeah.
Well, when you design a shawl for mystery knit along, is it difficult for you to split it into 5 clues? Like, do you have to be very strategic about that design?
I do. So the first thing I do is I split up how many grams need to be used for each clue. And then I try to hit that amount of grams. I try to make sure that the design elements, like that there's something fun within each clue, like just something a little bit different to keep your interest. So I don't actually design a pattern and then split it up. I design it split up with elements, so that it works split up. Like I just design it from the ground up that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I think there are a lot of great shawls and other things out there, and there's some really great simple ones, but it doesn't really work as a mystery knit along, because then you're just kind of doing exactly the same thing for
Right.
each clue. So I try to make sure that there's something different in there for each clue, something
Oh,
that will delight you.
so like when the last mystery shawl, the mystery knit along was done, did you start
Mhm.
thinking about the new design like the next day? Like how far in advance do you start planning for this mystery knit along?
It's kind of always in the back of my head the whole year, because it's honestly my favorite time of year. It's so much fun just because it's kind of it's a different design process. So I really like to solve design problems, if that makes sense. And so I do, like, I kind of start thinking about the colors and like what elements will be in it. And that's sort of in the back of my head, like for the whole year. And it kind of percolates down and then finally it gets out to everybody.
Well, do you use testers for this shawl?
Yes. So I use testers, and they it's a mystery for them too. So I present it like as in clues as a mystery, and they test knit it ahead of the other like the people who are participating in the mystery.
Is there like a separate like secret swearing ceremony? I promise not to spill any secrets.
No, they're so amazing. I know that they won't say anything. So
But
yeah.
when you see like the first mystery shows coming out, like the first clues coming out, what's your favorite part about seeing other people's like yarn choices and all of that?
So there's actually this big thread in my Ravelry group about yarn choices, and everybody is sharing all of their beautiful pairings and everything. And that is so much fun. It's a lot of fun to watch everybody putting things together, because some people buy kits and then other people knit from stash. And people always come up with these incredible colors and put them together. And I wouldn't have thought of that. And they look amazing, and everybody just it's really inspiring to me. So I love watching that.
Well, do you have to be strategic about like putting colors together? Do they have to be like very contrasting colors? Do they have to be like solid and speckled? Like, do you have any advice on how to pick the colors?
So I always do contrasting colors. And as you know, as a lace knitter, you don't want to have something that is too variegated, because then that covers that lace patterning.
Right.
So because I do use lace patterns in my shawls, like actually you can see back here, this one is last year's and that one is from a few years ago. Um, I generally use like lace patterns and slip stitches, and once in a while I use cables and other things like that. So because there is patterning in there, I always suggest like solid colors or tonals or speckled. So this year I used a purple set, so like a lighter purple and a darker purple, and they are both speckled. And I think speckles look so amazing with lace.
Right.
So I'm in love with speckles.
So the kits for this show already been sold out.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you said that you have a surprise for people who couldn't buy the kits.
Yes, so the shawl pin that I had included in the verb kits, a verb for keeping warm, I'm actually going to put that up on my site, and you can purchase it a la carte. So if you didn't get a kit, um, you can get a shawl pin, and I'll send you one.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna be like thinking now my entire vacation about the colors I'm gonna choose, because
Yeah,
it's like always the hardest part for me to choose the colors.
but so much fun, right?
Well, let me tell you about, so I only did one mystery knit along ever. And my problem with the mystery knit alongs, always this feeling that like I'll have to like stay and wait for the clue to drop out, right? Like, so I'm always like, I'm more of a one project person. So I'm thinking,
Okay, yes.
I'm gonna like fly through the clue and then I don't have anything to knit for 4 days. But because this one is very evenly spread out, I don't think that's gonna be the issue. Like, I think it's gonna be actually, it's gonna take those few days.
I hope so. I try.
What's your feeling about that? Because a lot of people complain about like feeling under pressure to finish the clue before the next clue comes out. What's your advice to people who planning to participate in this? How can they enjoy regardless of their tempo?
So it's really laid back every year. It's not like there's no huge pressure or anything. And people will be knitting like all the different clues all at once. And there's always someone to knit with, even if you're a slower knitter or like a super fast knitter or whatever. There's always somebody else who is going at around the same pace that you are. And my YouTube lives with all of the techniques and everything, those stay at their like at their URL. So you can always go in, look at it anytime you want. And so because not everybody can access live to Ravelry, I also do meetups. So and I'll be sending out a schedule and everything to mystery knit along people. But that at the meetup you can talk about whatever clue you're on, and it's definitely not a pressure thing. So the idea is to enjoy it. And actually, I get a lot of first-time lace knitters because they've always wanted to try lace, and but it's kind of daunting when you look at like a whole big shawl of
Right.
lace and think, oh my God, how am I ever going to knit this? But a lot of people really like to just hang out and kind of learn from everybody else who's going along. So yeah, it's really low key and laid back. So
And I think it's like a lot of people are intimidated by lace until they
I
actually
think so
try
too.
lace.
Yeah,
And
it
the fact,
looks it's
right.
so much more daunting than it actually is to knit. I mean,
Right.
you
Because
once you get
there is
your
like just so few stitches out there in the repertoire of every knitter, right? That it's like
Mhm.
it's just a combination of those stitches, so it's really not that complicated. And
Yeah,
plus,
I
because
agree.
you have the videos, so people who get stuck on certain stitch or something and they don't understand how to read the pattern, they can just follow your life and they can see you do
Yes.
that. So that should be
Yes.
like really helpful. And I also
And
find
I've
when it's like a mystery knit along or any knit along, right? The fact that there is a community, and usually people come to do these things from like every place in the world. So there is
yes.
available, like where you alone are not capable to be online 24/7. When you're doing a knit along, there is somebody always online who is capable to help people with their questions. So it's actually
Yeah, it's so
much
nice.
easier. Yeah, it takes the
Yeah.
pressure off of you also.
Yeah, it's really nice. And also I've been working on getting up a lot of what I've been calling teeny tiny tutorials on my YouTube site or channel. So like whatever techniques or anything like that, I will also be putting those up. So they're just like little tiny short tutorials, just with like minimal talking and just showing one technique. So that's there as well. And so if you are one of those people who doesn't like to go through like a whole live or something like that, you can just kind of go to that point
Right.
and
So you
use
mentioned
those.
there is also going to be prizes every week. How does that?
Mhm. So I like choose from people who post their progress, and I send out prizes, and then at the end there's always like we give 2 weeks past the end of the like the finish of the mystery shawl, and prizes are drawn from the finished objects that are posted.
So another idea that we just discussed was to post the Knitters Gonna Knit on Facebook. So this is the group that David Van de Kamp and I started a couple years ago. And if you guys want to post the pictures of the progress, like any picture of the clue that you're knitting there, and what hashtag they would use?
Romi Mystery 23.
Okay, so use the hashtag Romi Mystery 23, and at the end of the mystery knit along, we might do a separate prize just for the knitters.
Yes, absolutely.
It would be great.
I think several prizes.
Another place to post your progress pictures. So do most people use Instagram for posting?
A lot of people post on Instagram. A lot of people post on Ravelry. So my group was really really active on Ravelry, but I know a lot of people can't access Ravelry anymore and have gone other places. So we've kind of decentralized. So there are still people talking about it in the Ravelry group, but then also talking about it other places like Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
So, yeah.
So another thing we were sort of talking about is there is this series that I did for Stephen West Mystery Knit Along when I invited the knitters who participate in that knit along to share their story, to share their struggle, to share what they love about the knit along, if they like the mystery part, if they hate the mystery part, if it keeps them on their toes, or if they're losing interest otherwise, or whatever, right? Like their level of experience or anything they want to share with me. So I did a series of these mini interviews with different knitters who participated in it.
I love that.
Let's do the same thing for this knit along. It's going to be fun.
I love that. That would be so much fun.
Would like to tell me your story. If you've done 11 mystery knit alongs, or if this is your first mystery knit along for Romi, if you love it, if you are scared about it, if you never knitted lace, if you've done every kind of lace, share your story. Just email me at fiberchats@gmail.com and we'll set up an interview. And then you're going to be part of Humans of Romi Hill 2023 Mystery Knit Along.
How fun. That is so much fun. I am so looking forward to seeing these.
It might be interesting for you to see like all the people and who participated in it and what's there.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm so excited to be part of this Mystery Knit Along, and I'll tell.
And I'm so excited you're doing it. This is fantastic.
Yeah, let's do it together and we'll keep in touch. And you guys, please email me and we'll set up the mini interview. And you're gonna be Humans of Romi Hill.
So much fun. I love it.
Well, thanks so much, Romi. Thank you for telling me all about it. And
thank you.
I'm super excited about the start of this Mystery Knit Along.
I am too. I can't wait.